What's up, aliens? It's Big Al. Welcome to another sports show. Relatively boring week in the NFL. I want to talk about one big thing that did happen today. Not really going a lot in the NFL. We're going to talk to March Madness. We're going to talk about Sweet 16. We're going to talk about how the teams got there. Mock draft coming out again soon. I kind of wanted to wait till free agency kind of was over and people kind of knew who they had and who they wanted. Waiting to see if Russell Wilson got traded or if Deshaun Watson got traded. I'll put out another rough draft, mock draft 2.0, and then I'll probably do one right before the draft because I'll kind of know okay, they're looking for a quarterback, they're not. I'll have that all settled. Let's get into it. I'm going to pull up the details because I need to be 100% honest with you guys. I can't lie. All right. The Dolphins were wheeling and dealing yesterday on Friday. They weren't even trading people. They were trading picks, swapping picks like crazy. Had freaking draft day going on. Kevin Costner swindled freaking Seattle. The Dolphins were doing a lot of moves yesterday. The Dolphins traded with the 49ers to move back 9 spots. Listen to what the Niners gave up to move 9 spots. All right, the Dolphins get the number 12 pick, so they just pretty much swap picks there. First round picks in 2022 and 2023, and a third rounder for this year. All for the 49ers to move up 9 spots from 12 to 3. Jimmy Garoppolo has to be shitting his pants right now. I saw another tweet from Adam Schefter that said immediately after the trade was made, they had to call, John Lynch called Jimmy Garoppolo and said, you're still in our future plans, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, they're moving on from that dude for sure. They got number 3 overall pick and freaking there's just 5 quarterbacks that are going to go in the top 15 probably. Jimmy Garoppolo, it's over for you, dude. You're going somewhere else. People say New England. People say I don't know. It's going to be somewhere else. He's not going to. Don't be surprised if you don't see him in a Niners uniform again. That was insane. Kind of a boring week, and then all of a sudden you get this notification on Friday. I got Adam Schefter tweets that notify me on my phone every time he tweets. Dolphins blockbuster trades. I'm looking at it. I'm like, holy shit, they gave all this up to move 9 spots. And you know what this means? In my first mock draft, my rough draft mock draft, I had the Jets taking Penei Sewell, left tackle, at number 2. This means they're taking a quarterback, and here's why. I heard Michael Lombardi talking. He's a former NFL GM, kind of an NFL analyst guy. I heard him talking on the Pat McAfee Show podcast today about kind of what this meant. So what this means is the 49ers must have called the Jets because they have someone in mind. All right, and it may be Zach Wilson, or it may be Justin Fields. But they have someone in mind, and so they probably tried to get that number 2. But then the Jets were like, no, we know who we want to get. We need to make sure this happens. We can't pick anywhere else. So the Jets probably denied the Niners number 2 because, it's pretty obvious Trevor Lawrence is going number 1. I won't change that. He's going number 1 for sure. Jaguars, I don't see anything else happening there. The Niners probably thought they could get something out of the Jets to try and get up to that 2 spot to get one of these quarterbacks. But if the Jets are dead set on getting a quarterback, they would not have moved. They could have gotten a good lineman at number 12. They would have traded, got a couple picks for next year, everything like that. But I'm pretty sure the Jets have a quarterback in mind. So my next mock draft, rough draft, I'm going to have the Jets taking a quarterback for sure. Now, if it's going to be Wilson, who had his pro day on Friday, looked kind of good. He had one crazy where he was rolling out left and then he turned and threw a deep ball down center, kind of against his body. He had a good pro day. Or Justin Fields, who's insanely accurate. Now I had Justin Fields going to the Niners at number 12, falling to number 12. Now they're moving up to number 3. They're for sure going to get him at 3. He instantly moves up 9 spots with the Niners there. That wasn't the only big move the Dolphins made yesterday. They also traded with the Eagles. So now they have the number 12 pick in this draft. They traded with the Eagles to move back up to number 6. So they're like, okay, we can swindle some picks from the 49ers. And now they leverage one of those picks to get back into the top 10. Number 6 overall. So the Dolphins trade with the Eagles. The Dolphins receive number 6 overall pick and 156 this year. Eagles get the number 12 pick, so they swap again. So now the Eagles are picking at 12 where the Niners were picking. They get number 123 for this year, which is what? 3rd rounder, 4th rounder probably. And then first round pick for next year that they had just got from the Niners less than an hour before that. So literally the pick they got from the Niners, the next year's draft, they turned it around and moved back up 6 spots into the top 10. Now, I had them taking a receiver at number 3, I think Devontae Smith. I can still see him being there at number 6. It's either Devontae Smith or Jamar Chase. It's one or the other. Like, they're taking a receiver for sure. They moved out of the top 10 because they were confident that they weren't going to take a quarterback. And now this kind of solidifies Tua's position, unless they're going to trade Tua for Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson. But they think they know what they're doing at quarterback, so they were comfortable moving out of the top 10 and then getting back in there to get the best receiver or the second best receiver that'll be there. So crazy. They were wheeling and dealing. This was literally draft day happening in front of our eyes. Kevin Costner traded all kinds of picks on draft day. They were all last minute. This is kind of like still like 40 days ahead of the draft, but Kevin Costner did it last minute. I really like what the Dolphins did. Like, insane. Because if you think about it, if a team drafts 50% of the people they draft, say like the first, second, maybe third round, if 50% of those people pan out and turn into starters and turn into good players, then that's probably a good number. Let's say 50%. So the Dolphins are sitting here looking at quantity over quality. Not just having one pick and like, if that's the guy, he's the guy. If not, our careers are ruined. We get a new GM, all that stuff. They're saying let's get a ton of first round picks, and one or two of them are bound to be good eventually, right? So this is the route they're going, is just stacking picks, which is insane. Last draft they had 3 first round picks. This year they have 2, and then they still have the freaking Houston pick for Laramie Tunsil, which is insane. They have the Houston pick. So 3 last year, 2 this year, 2 next year they'll have in the first round, and then 2 the year after that. So they're literally going 4 years in a row with multiple first round draft picks. If you can't build a team off that, then they better sell the team, man. That's insane. I like what they're doing. They're stacked on picks the next few years. But at some point, you got to turn those picks into... I feel like the Browns did this for a while. The Browns were like kind of stacking picks like this. But then eventually they seized their moment. They got Myles Garrett, number 1 overall. Baker Mayfield, number 1 overall the next year. And then Denzel Ward at number 4 overall. I forgot who they traded with to get that. But they started stacking picks. And there's a point where you got to get in your franchise where you're like, okay, we've stacked picks. Now we got to just drop the hammer and freaking bring in all these young studs and start winning and start playing games. And I feel like the Dolphins started doing that last year after stacking picks for years and years. They started last year and they almost made the playoffs. But now, I mean, you're wheeling and dealing. You gotta keep getting players in there, man. No more trading picks. No more. You don't need picks in the future. You need to win now. Like, that's what it is. The NFL is like such a what have you done for me lately league, especially with our generation. You need to win. Like, you need to win. No more stacking picks. Just start taking these guys, and some of them are bound to be good. All right, I went longer than I thought. That was 2 huge blockbuster trades that involve zero current NFL players, which is kind of cool. I love that. In a boring NFL week, I love that. It's probably why you guys haven't heard from me all week. Excuse me. So now let's get to March Madness. I'm going to pull up my bracket just because I can't do this without looking at my bracket. All right, let's talk about the Sweet 16. Gonzaga, Creighton. Well, we'll start in the West. Gonzaga, Creighton. Gonzaga not really playing anyone to get there. It's whatever. They're probably going to end up winning the whole thing. But, yeah, that's neither here nor there. Creighton, I mean, this is where the road ends for Creighton. They're a 5 seed. Barely beat Santa Barbara. Beat Ohio, who upset Virginia. So, I mean, they're there. They're going to get wrecked by Gonzaga. USC, Oregon. We got a Pac-12 matchup in the Sweet 16. This is awesome for the Pac-12. The Pac-12 is what the Big 10 was supposed to be this year. The Big 10 was supposed to have like 4 or 5 teams in the Sweet 16. Now that's the Pac-12. We got a matchup right here, USC, Oregon. Oregon won the Pac-12 title, the regular season title, because they played less games than USC. So here's the vengeance. I mean, it's now or never. And thank you to the Oregon Ducks for beating Iowa. As always, Iowa sucks. I'll say it again at the end. I hated Iowa so much, and they were so good this year. And so the fact that they just didn't even make it out of the round of 32 is just fantastic. USC is playing amazing. I'm a USC fan. I'm a bad USC fan. So I'm the freaking soccer fan that's only around for the World Cup. I'm the college basketball fan when my team's doing good, A, and B, when when they're doing good, and when March Madness comes around. That's the only time I care about college basketball. So I watched my first USC game when they beat Kansas last week. It must have been me, man. 34-point win over Kansas, a notorious freaking amazing college basketball school. 34-point win. They dominated them. Kansas just looked awful, man. It was hard to watch at some points. Actually, no, I'll take it back. I loved every second of it. So I'm gonna keep watching all these games and hope that I'm the lucky charm for USC. Just take it all the way. Smack the shit out of Oregon. Let's go. All right, heading over to the South. I actually got this one right. Baylor Villanova. I think this is one. I only got. Let me count real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got 9 of the Sweet 16 teams right. Holy crap. That's way more than I thought. All right, moving over. This is bad show. All right. There's a lot going on here. Baylor Villanova. I didn't think Baylor was that good. Villanova's kind of one of those blue blood basketball schools, so I picked Villanova to win. No really like big wins for Villanova. They played Winthrop and North Texas, but they beat them handily, so that's good. Baylor beats Wisconsin last round. I'm just not a big believer in Baylor. I've got Villanova winning this game for sure. Moving to the Elite Eight. Arkansas, I had Texas Tech upsetting Arkansas, and they only won by 2 points, so I was super close. But Oral Roberts, who predicted Oral Roberts? Like, I didn't even know who Oral Roberts was, and my wife like knew who he was. He was a minister, and he's in like Oklahoma or something like that. It's like she knew more about it than I did, and I was like, what the heck? Because of church, I should have known sports, but she knew it because of church, which is freaking insane. Oral Roberts, no one saw them beating Ohio State. And then no one saw them beating Florida. So now they got to go play number 3, Arkansas. Oh, they beat a number 2. I mean, it could happen. I had Ohio State freaking going to the Elite Eight, losing to Villanova. But Arkansas, Oral Roberts, it's got to end. The Cinderellas don't just last like this until the Final Four. Only Loyola does that. I'll take Arkansas to go to the Elite Eight from there. In the East, we've got Michigan, Florida State. I actually had this game right. I predicted this. I don't know. Michigan's just not that good to me. I have them beating Florida State, though. Florida State beat Colorado. Thank God. Didn't want them freaking bums to actually be good. As they beat USC in the tournament. That's why the Pac-12 tournament. UCLA, Alabama. This is wild. And I don't know why I think about this. I'm like, I wish it's going to be like a football matchup where if Alabama actually played USC and they would just kick the living shit out of them. I hope that happens in basketball right now. I've got Alabama winning this game. Dang, I had Texas going to the Final Four on this side and they freaking lost in the first round. That's awful. I mean, Alabama and Florida State going to the Elite Eight from that. And in the Midwest, we've got Loyola Chicago. I didn't pick them to win any games, and here they are, probably making a run to the freaking Final Four again. Oregon State, I actually got right. I'm very proud of that. I had them beating Tennessee, and I had them beating Oklahoma State, and they pulled it off for both of them. So, Loyola Chicago and Oregon State, end of the line for Sister Jean. Oregon State going to the Elite Eight, being a huge surprise. Loyola Chicago knocking off Illinois. Oh, my God. I had Illinois winning 3 of my brackets. I think I did 4 brackets. Kansas was the other one I had. That was kind of like an upset bracket where I just picked a bunch of random shit. And now Kansas lost, Illinois lost. I didn't pick a winner in anything. So, my God. It's March Madness. It's unpredictable. I saw that no one in the world got a Sweet 16 bracket right. Like, no one predicted these 16 teams in any of it, which it's impossible. You got freaking Loyola Chicago, Oregon State. You got Oral Roberts. No one saw any of that coming. Give me Oregon State in that one. And then the last game, we got Syracuse and Houston. I believe firmly in these schools, the blue blood schools. Now, they don't have to be blue like colors, but it's like Kansas, North Carolina, Duke, Syracuse, maybe like a UConn, UCLA. These schools win every year. They win the tournament every year. Like Virginia's like the one exception, but that just happened recently. But I have like this theory where it's like the last 20 years, it's all these major blue blood schools, Villanova, Gonzaga. It's these schools that win the tournament every year. Like Loyola will make a run. Butler made a run those couple years. Yes, all these ones you think about, Wichita State, Virginia Commonwealth, all these schools that made a run, no one ever won. And so when it gets down to the nitty gritty, it's Syracuse, it's UCLA, it's Gonzaga, it's Villanova, it's these perennial college basketball schools. And for that reason, I'm taking Syracuse over Houston. Syracuse probably goes to the Final Four after beating Oregon State in the next round. All right. That's my bracket. I'm excited to watch college basketball again. It's kind of a long. I hate how they did it because in a normal universe, when they do March Madness, they play the first weekend, the round of 64, and then the round of 32, and then they're traveling throughout the week. So they travel, they get rested, they heal up, and then they play the games on the weekend. But this whole tournament is in Indianapolis and like the suburbs of Indianapolis. Like, why did they have to wait a whole week to play games again? Anywho, USC, take it all the way, baby. They got to play Gonzaga next round. I have Gonzaga winning to go to the Final Four, but who knows? It's March, baby. Thanks for listening to me, guys. Hopefully some more interesting stuff happens in the NFL world. I'm going to start working on that mock draft for you. I feel like now that I've told you about it, I have to do it, so I'm going to give myself a deadline. I'll put that out sometime this week, maybe this weekend. Who knows? We'll see how good I am to you guys. All right. Love always, and remember, Iowa sucks.